What's up, guys? Rona Man here. Today we're going to talk about the heat of the fucking sun, okay? Jealousy, and, just jealousy, sexual jealousy. Okay, and I'm just going to say right off the bat, I don't think there's anything online. I've never heard a technique that works when you are insanely jealous. When a man is insanely jealous, I've never found anything that works, but online. But I actually found something myself. And it was through hard experience. I've been insanely jealous 3 times in my life. 3 different girls. And each girl was almost separated by like 15 years, strangely enough. Okay, so every once in a while, there's a girl who just will, I don't know, like mentally, it's not even logical even, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like once in a while, I'll just get insanely jealous of another girl. And it's usually when we break up, okay? It's usually almost always after we break up. And it's almost always when they leave me. That's another thing in common, okay? And usually, while I'm with them, I don't have that insane jealousy, but after they leave, it gets really strong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of feeling that I've been left. And it's like, I don't know, it's just something, there's a certain type of girl. And now I have a lot of chicks leave, and it doesn't even fucking bother me at all. So don't get me wrong, it's not like every girl that leaves. It's just there's a certain kind of girl. I wonder if there else is in common with these girls. No, it's not beauty. They look different, these girls. Body type, no, I can't think of anything. Either way, maybe it's just me. Once every 15 years, I lose my mind over a chick. Okay, now, I started to make this podcast because I got asked by a guy in Unblackmailable. He was like feeling super jealous over this girl. And I realized that the guys can be insanely jealous, have the same feeling in 3 different ways. So you could be where you have a girlfriend or wife and you know that she cheated. You found her, you walked in, she was fucking another guy. You found a condom, you looked on her email, there was, pictures, she told you, whatever. You have proof. Next one is you don't have proof, but you have intuition. Now, I have very good intuition when it comes to cheating. And I think every man does. I really do. They talk about women's intuition. I think that men's intuition about their woman cheating is insane. It's really, it's almost paranormal. And I'm not kidding. No one never talks about this. I think men have serious skills in this way. And I can tell, I had one time when an ex-girlfriend had sex with another guy, and she came into work that day, and then she just kind of looked at me in a strange way, but nothing really unusual. We're in the office, and then she turned left. I remember, and then this guy came in after her, and I was 19. This is 1984, and I was sitting there and I was thinking, I don't know. Somehow I think they had sex, So I went up to her afterwards, and I wouldn't recommend this, and this is why I'm not proud of this, but I was 19, and I wasn't that jealous actually. I was more curious with this girl. And I said, did you have sex with that guy? And she looks at me like shocked, and she goes over to him right in front of me, and she goes, why did you tell him? She goes, of all people, why? We have sex one time and you tell him? Why? And the guy's like, I didn't tell him. And she's like, how else would he know? She says, there's no way for him to know. You told him. And then she dumped him. This was hilarious. And I felt bad for the guy, actually. And I went up to her and I said, her name is Kim. And she was my boss. And she had the smelliest pussy I've ever seen. Honestly, she had the smelliest. You could smell it through her jeans at work. That's how smelly it was. I think she must have had a yeast infection. Either way, I was too young to care. She had nice boobs. Her parents were rich. I was 19. I thought she was sexy as fuck, right? I just wanted to pound her into the fucking pavement. And so I went over to her afterwards. I said, Kim, he didn't tell me. I said, I had this intuition. I wanted to test it out to see if I was right. And she looks at me. She's like, he told you, I know. And then she's so pissed that she kept working. Now, she was my boss. Luckily, I didn't get fired. But actually, she was a pretty cool chick looking back. But either way, I was like, this is the first time where I realized my intuition is really good. So when it comes to sex and cheating, your intuition is insane as a guy. Now, every time I've had this intuition in my life, personally, I've been correct, that I've tested it. So I tested it that time. Other times when I've tested it, I've always been right. So it's a strange thing. I think I have it. I mean, I think other men probably have it too. There's a strange thing about sex, and like, I mean, just weird things about sex kind of topic. When your girlfriend, let's say you have a girlfriend or wife, okay, now she goes away for the weekend, and when she comes back, when you have sex, you create millions more sperm than you do when you had sex on Friday. Okay, that's your body trying to ensure that the baby is yours. And this is a thing that you don't have to think about this one. This is like it's so strange that this is real, but they can test this. They can test the amount of sperm. And if a woman goes away for a few days, let's say a week or whatever, and then she comes back, the guy will produce more sperm. Even though he's been jerking off every day or whatever, he has another girl, it doesn't matter. He could have many girls. That's the thing. He could have multiple girlfriends. And when his one that was gone comes back, he creates that sperm because his body somehow knows that, you know, she could have been with somebody else and he wants his sperm to win, right? So sex is a weird thing. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a man's intuition about cheating, infidelity is insane. And it, now, of course, now there's another side of it where you have jealousy where it's not real and you know it's not real. That's another thing. Like for example, you could be jealous of a movie star for whatever reason. You could be like, oh, she's fucking a new guy. You know, I don't know. Like, all I know is it doesn't really matter if it's real. It doesn't matter how many girls you've met. None of this stuff matters. All that I'm talking about is the heat of the sun. That's why I have the sun here. The heat of the nuclear sun, and that's your jealousy. It's driving you crazy. You can't fucking sleep. What can you do? You look on the internet, there's no help. Everybody's full of shit. Everybody online is full of shit when it comes to sex. When it comes to jealousy. Everything is like, oh, you know, memories are an image, and you need a new image in your mind. You just have to, you know, use NLP and replace that image with another image. And then, you know, no, that works. That technique works actually for other things. But this one, a man's jealousy, is so deep and so powerful that that nothing logical will fix it. Okay, logic. This is beyond logic. Okay, and people will tell you, oh, just, you know, she's not cheating, or, you know, just get over it, or, you know, she still loves you, or, you know, you got a new girl now, you know, you're fine. And you do have a new girl, but it doesn't matter. That jealousy is still there. So that's what the kind of situation I want to help you fix right now. So what works for me, and this, I discovered this through a lot of experience and pain. And I just stumbled on it, actually. I just stumbled on it. Was, okay, this is amazing. So you can't get the image out of your mind. It's like the heat of the nuclear sun in your room. You can cover it with a blanket, but it's just going to burn everything up. And you can try to ignore it. You can leave it there. You can go away, but the heat's just burning, and it probably follows you around. So what you need to do is you need to face it. You need to use that heat. You need to burn that heat. You need to ride that fucking heat, okay? So what you do is, and this fucking works, as weird as it's going to sound, it fucking works. As creepy and weird as it sounds, this will help you get over this. So, and I believe girls could use this too. Okay, so you know somebody's cheating, or you think somebody's cheating, or you have intuition somebody's cheating, and the result is, the main part is you can't sleep, you're going crazy, it's driving you insane. Okay, so what do? What you do is you use that jealousy, okay? So instead, what everybody does is they walk away from the jealousy. They try to avoid the jealousy. They try to stop the jealousy, okay? But that doesn't work. Like I said, once the nuclear fission has reached a certain level, it just keeps going and going and going like the sun. It burns until the fuel is gone. So that's the kind of thing it is. You got to get the fuel burned out. When the sun runs out of fuel, it's going to turn into a red giant. It's going to expand, and then it's going to explode, and we'll have another Big Bang. It'll all go down to a black hole, and that will also, all the material of the universe will go into something the size of a pea, and the pressure will be so intense it will blow up again. So that's the same thing with this jealousy. You need to burn the fuel. How do you burn the fuel? How do you heat up the fuel so that it burns out, gets out? Okay, what you do is you use the jealousy for your advantage. So what you do is you have this image in your mind that you're trying to forget, you're trying to avoid, you're trying to, do something, you're trying to, replace it with something, you're trying to, logically overcome it. None of it's working. Okay. So what you do is you instead imagine there's a nuclear fire in your living room and you're in the bedroom hiding because you're trying to avoid it. Okay, so what you do is you stand up, walk over to your door, open it up, and you walk straight into it. So there it is, your image. She's cheating, she's fucking him. He's coming on her face. She's loving it. She's just creaming all over the place. She's saying whatever it is, like use your imagination on this one, okay? So whatever would make you the most jealous, okay? She's saying something like bad about you, or she's saying, whatever, she's saying some story, how they've been doing it for a while, or, how he's fucking better built than you, or whatever the fuck it is. Whatever it is that would make you feel like, just amp your jealousy up is what I'm saying. So go right in, okay? And now you want to use this image for masturbation. Okay, so what you want to do is you walk in and then you want to use this image for masturbation. The heat can only be burned away by masturbation, is my experience, and by massive fucking ejaculation. So what you do is you create this image in your mind, which is even worse than the reality, okay? Let your imagination go, like really let it go on this one. Like just fucking make it evil, like just whatever image you had, you fucking amp it all the way up. Remember, nobody's watching you, okay? Nobody's here, nobody sees you, nobody knows. You're using this you need to protect yourself with techniques that work. God damn it. This shit on the internet, people fucking talking shit about, this is serious stuff. You can hurt yourself over this stuff. You can ruin your future. You can find yourself like doing all kinds of crazy things for women. So don't do that. Get rid of it once and for all. So it's fucking gone forever. It's dead. It's cold. There's no more heat. Okay, so you want to masturbate to images of what it is that's driving you super jealous, okay? And you want to amp it up. So you can go on Pornhub or whatever, find a girl that looks like the girl that you were with, or the girl that you're jealous of, or whoever it is that you're jealous of, and then you want to like use that in your imagination. You want to amp it up, and you will have a great session, okay? It will be good, okay? And when you finish, this is going to be a strange thing. You're going to have this very strange feeling. It's going to be a strange feeling. Just keep in touch with that. Just say, okay, next time you start feeling jealousy again, instead of fighting it, fucking turn on Pornhub, get that image going, amp it up, ramp it up, and fucking just explode. Okay, now, what will happen over time? What will happen over time, I can't really tell you, but you can probably guess. It's just like anything they use for sex. I remember the first time this girl had a teddy on, and I was very young, and she was young too. She was hot, and or to me she was hot at the time. That's I should say. She wasn't actually that hot. She was super hot to me. That's all that matters is to you, right? So, I was at her house and she turned off the lights, and I was like, what the fuck? And I look up and she's wearing a teddy. I'd never seen one before. And then we had sex for the first time. It was super hot. But, we were both young, right? And she kept wearing that same teddy every single time we had sex. And, quickly, it wasn't very hot, right? It was still good. It was great, But it wasn't the same as that first time. I'd never seen a teddy before in real life. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, I swear like I was in a porno or something. Like this is way back, okay? This is like probably like late 70s. I'm just like, what in the fuck? This is so nasty. I'm like, oh, you little fucking, it was driving me insane. But quickly you get bored, right? So anything you do sexually too many times gets boring. Okay, so you want to use that basic fact about sex to your advantage. And you want to face the fear, you want to go in, you want to create the image, you want to amp it up, you want to have good sex with yourself, right? Or if you're fucking another girl, you can imagine she's that other girl, whatever it is. You masturbate or have sex with her, it doesn't matter. I guess you could even do it with the girl, actually. If you're having this like jealousy and she's not really having sex with anybody else and just like driving you insane for some reason, you could imagine this stuff, right? Get your imagination. You don't have to tell anybody, okay? This is not about telling anybody, okay? Sex is a private thing. Whatever the fuck you do that makes you feel good, it really, really doesn't matter. I mean, I'm serious. Like, it matters so little the older you get, too. It's like, whatever. Who cares? Especially living in Thailand. I see guys doing the weirdest shit here, but it's like, whatever. I could tell you some stories of guys in Thailand. Oh, my God. There really are some unusual stories here. Let's go back to you are now masturbating to images of your wife or girlfriend or the girl that you're jealous of cheating. What happens? Well, number one, you're going to have a weird feeling afterwards, kind of an unusual feeling because you've never done this before. No guy's ever done this before. No guy has. This is a Ronin Man technique here. No one else, and this really works for me. So, if it doesn't work for you, I'm sorry, but I'm telling you, this fucking works for me, and I bet you it's going to work for a lot of guys. And it's very, very fucking few and far between, like, techniques that work for this one. I'll tell you that. Most people are just whistling Dixie, fucking pissing in a fan. And, you know, and just the fans just fucking just throwing piss all over their face. It doesn't work. Techniques from, like, simpy, cucky guys on the internet, they don't know. They don't know what to do. Like, they just say, oh, time heals it or whatever the fuck. No, man, you can burn it out really fast, actually. And really fast. So that's what you do, is you do that, then next time you do it again, you do it again, you do it again. And what will happen is, naturally, the image will start to dissipate in heat. Because now you're burning the fuel instead of trying to cover it up. You know, when the sun runs out of fuel, that's the only thing that can destroy the sun, because fusion is a chain reaction. So once you create, this is kind of the holy grail of energy. Fission must always be recreated all the time. Each time that's putting two atoms together, fission. And then fission is splitting atoms. So it takes energy to split atoms. That's why you needed like a detonation device on a nuclear bomb. That's a fission device. Now fusion is the kind of holy grail of energy, and nuclear fusion is when basically you get it so hot that these two atoms fuse together, and that creates like a fire, just like kindling that's so hot that it burns the other fuel, and then it just won't stop. It's a fire that goes until the very end, until you're out of fuel. And that's what the sun is. And I believe that's what jealousy is. It's like a nuclear fusion. It's a fire that cannot be controlled. It cannot be stopped. So that's it. Use it for your advantage. You'll have the best jerk-offs of your life, probably, or very good ones. Nobody knows. And very, very quickly, you will start to feel some good feelings, because you will start to feel control of yourself, because there's a feeling of lack of control when you're jealous, like as a man. Like, it's a very strong feeling. Like, you just feel like you're out of control. Like, it's a terrible feeling for guys, like really terrible. Like, you don't want to have this feeling, man. Fuck this feeling. You know, this is not a good feeling, man. It's like, it's terrible and you can't get rid of it. It just fucking sticks with you, right? It's like so bad. And you can do some really stupid things too. Guys in history, have done some really stupid stuff over this one. Insane. I think a lot of guys get married because of this one. They can't imagine someone else fucking that girl's pussy. Like any other pussy, fine. But her pussy, no! Nobody else goes in there! You know, that's not how you feel, right? So this is a good technique for not getting married too. Because if you feel that feeling, you know, you're thinking of making a commitment, but you know you don't really want to get married, or you don't, maybe you don't even, you know that you can be jealous of some girl that you don't really like. It's a strange thing, jealousy. It's a really strange thing. Like I said, the girl that I was the most jealous of, I didn't really like. It was in China. It was strange. It was very strange. I couldn't even understand it myself. Even today, I can't really understand why I was so jealous of that girl. I don't really know why I was. But it doesn't really matter. Illogical, subconscious emotions are the most dangerous. So this is a technique I found, and very quickly you will feel in control. The heat will start to dissipate, and if you're doing it right, you'll start to have this feeling that you know you're doing it right. Like, you know, you're like, I can feel it. The heat is gone, like less heat. You still have heat, right? You can still do it, but the heat's like less. And then the next time you're like, less. And then And then maybe, it's back today, and then the next time it's like no interest at all. Eventually it won't work even at all. Like, you won't even remember it. Like, this really works. Like this literally really fucking works. And you'll be like, wow, why was I so... You'll start to get logical about it. Like, why was I so jealous of that girl? Like, what is it about her? And then you just be like, oh, okay, it doesn't matter. Again, it's logic, right? Don't worry about logic when it comes to this stuff. So don't try to ever beat emotions with logic. Emotions have to beat with something smarter. And this is the technique that I think really works. I'd love to hear what you think. If this works for you, you can send me a private message if you don't want to post, or whatever. Doesn't really matter. There's really nothing to be embarrassed of. Fuck. Emotions are just emotions. They're illogical. We all have them. I don't think anybody on this planet is not jealous. Has never been jealous. We've all been jealous. We've all seen images. Chicks, dudes, old people, young people. Fucking, we've all had this shit. So it's not a big deal. All this stuff is, the more personal the wound, the more universal, is a famous saying. And I really feel that way when it comes to sex. Like, don't try to fight it. Think of smarter techniques. Control yourself so that you don't make these dumb decisions like, becoming a stalker or getting married or just ruining your life, like not sleeping and being miserable. And you know what I mean? Like, just fuck all that shit. Nah, you can get over this stuff. There is a technique for everything. Okay? There is a technique. And this is why you want to have like hope in your life, is you realize that there's nothing you're going to come across that you can't deal with these days. Like, you become such a fucking versatile, flexible, resilient person that it just gives you a kind of confidence. Okay, the next thing I'll figure it out, right? It might be hard, but I'll fucking figure it out, right? I'll get over this. And then each one of these things gives you this kind of weird feeling. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm almost floating in the air because I feel like confident, like I've overcome this and that and this and that and this and that. I think, man, what else? What's my next thing? You're like, fuck, man, this is amazing. And that's what you want. That's where you want to be in life. All right, guys, Running Man signing up. Back to the gym. I took this long break, 22 minutes, and I'm gonna fucking hammer the hell out of it. All right, guys, have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you. The guys are coming to the MGTOW conference, February 2 to 4. If you haven't signed up and you want to come, sign up. There's a link below. Click on that. And if you need places to stay, there's like some really good cheap places around here. There's 5-star hotels. Everything is. I'm in a central area, so it's a good area. And it's a good chance to meet other guys if you got time, if you can get time off or whatever. Either way, guys, have a good one. Thanks for listening. Hope that works for you.